volunteering this knowledge. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, really, what an idiot. So, anyways, right when she said
Yeah.
that, that's when the investigators came in. And Lana's all surprised, like, what's going on? What's going on? And then when they came in, that's when she started acting like she was just overwhelmed. Just everything was just too much. And so the officers kind of like was just playing it off with her, like, yeah, 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 it's okay. You're not in trouble. Um, you know, we just came in because you're a witness in this case. But even though you're a witness, we still have to read you your Miranda rights, and we do that with everybody. So, which is a damn lie. And if she was any kind of smart,
Oh,
she would have
okay.
known that was a
When since
damn lie.
when? Right.
So anyway, they read her rights, and after that, they asked her, so you're just a witness in this case, and we're just trying to figure out what happened. Like, how would THC end up in his system? So she started like talking and making it seem like Steve was trying to commit suicide. Saying
Oh,
like
that's a new
suddenly,
angle she has.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. Now suddenly he had a mood disorder. Now she's now saying that he was always angry or nasty, and she always felt like she had to walk around on eggshells.
Eggshells.
And now
Oh
she's
gosh.
saying
She
that he
feared
was,
for her life.
and now she's saying that he was like verbally abusive and everything. So his nephews, of course, they're there because French is a cop, was like, no, we've known him his whole life. You've known him way shorter than us, and there's never been any evidence any of his 200 wives before you has ever said he's abusive. There's no police records of that, nothing. So then the cop started questioning her about his coffee and like saying, and like
Wow.
asking her, like,
And
as a nurse, how didn't you know like what Visine would do to him? So then she started getting all defensive and stuff and was like, I'm just gonna stop this interview. I don't need to be here. I'm gonna leave. Are you keeping me here? And they're like, no, no, we can't keep you here for anything. And she was like, all right, well, I'm going home. So she went home, but the cops were like, you're right,
wow.
woman, and they followed her back to her house. And so when she got in the house and they followed her in there, she just kept talking. And like she just acted very much differently than she did at the police station. And then out of the blue, she said, this is a quote. So this is a quote. You know, I had this little table set up next to his bed with his tissues, his urinal, his, medications, his Visine, and I just saw it and just I was just so angry, and I just took it and squirted it. I think I put the whole thing in. So she
Oh my
basically,
gosh.
yes,
She just
yes,
confessed.
just
It was so
confess.
not necessary the way she did it. Because you know what she could have got away with? Because she already said that he was taking small little drugs for constipation, I think. Was it constipation or something
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
that?
yeah.
Okay.
Constipation. It would
Okay,
make him go to the bathroom.
so I can easily say that I was just doing what something that was working for him and it would give him relief, and that's just it. I didn't have any idea that I poured too much. I just wanted him to feel relief and feel better. It's something we've been doing for years. There's no way they can prove that that was on purpose. But when you say
Well,
that I just dumped the bottle, like,
mhm,
of course they're gonna go, yeah,
mhm,
that was intentional. Yes, that was intentional. This is murder, and you're an idiot.
mhm.
Oh my
And so
gosh, I
basically,
can't.
when she said she thinks she put the whole bottle in, so like I said before, that amount of THC would have caused Steven to stop breathing.
Yeah,
So
cardiac arrest or no, stop breathing. Oh, suffocation. Yeah,
yeah, so the
gosh.
detective was like, "So you put the whole bottle in there?" And she was like, "I think I did." And then she goes, "I squeezed it hard." And then he was like, "So where was he when you
You
did this?"
squeezed it hard. Oh, this
So the
lady's
officer asked her,
crazy.
"Where was he when you did this?" And she was like, "Oh, he was sleeping. I don't know. I just saw it there and I just did it. I don't have an excuse. I just did it." And
Just like she fell on the crossbow bow fell on him when he was sleeping.
Yeah, right. And then she's like,
Yeah.
just
Hmm.
what if I did kill him? What if I caused his death with the Visine? And now she's like the grieving widow and the,
Oh
oh, my
gosh.
husband, I can't believe, what if it's my fault? What if I did it? And she's just like, she was like, I just wanted him to I just wanted him to suffer, you know, suffer because she basically said she was fed up with his constant demands. That's what she said.
Wait a minute. Did she actually say, "I just wanted him to suffer,"
She said, I
or
wanted
is
him to
that
suffer. I
parody?
was just, oh, here it
Oh,
goes, hold on. I was just angry. He was just constantly, Lana, come here. Lana, come here. Help me to the bathroom. Do
oh,
this,
being
do
sick.
that, and everything. Yeah.
Oh,
And so
she
she
had to
was
put
like,
him
it
out of
was
his
just,
misery.
she said it was just too much and it
Wow.
was just building up. And then she just saw the bottle there and she just was like,
But she just
squeeze,
snapped. But
squeeze.
she basically snapped.
That's what she said. And so she was just basically trying to convince them that I just wanted to hurt him. I didn't want to kill him. I just wanted him to have diarrhea. That's what she said. I just wanted him to have diarrhea.
Oh, well, so you would
Suffer.
think you could almost get away with that one because I mean, but you're a nurse though. You know about measurements, and you know what I mean. That's the only thing with that.
Yeah.
So
She was like, I just wanted him
it's
to
kind of like if you,
suffer.
yeah.
And it actually turned out that when they went to court and everything, she had been poisoning his water from July 19th until the 21st when he died.
Yeah, but how do
So
they know that? How do they know
well,
about the
that's what I'm saying.
water and
When
how
it went to
long?
court, that's when all this is starting to come out. So she had actually started poisoning his water from July 19th until the 21st. And what
Mm.
ended up happening is she actually pled guilty and was sentenced to 25 years in prison. And she's currently
Wow.
in the Leith Correctional Facility in South Carolina, and she won't be eligible for parole until 2039.
Wow.
Wasn't that freaking
Wow.
crazy?
Yeah,
But you
absolutely.
want to know what else is crazy? So,
There's more?
this woman, a 32-year-old mother of two young children, was found dead by her husband. The husband is Joshua Hunsucker, and the woman who was dead is Stacy Hunsucker. And originally, it was ruled a heart attack. A 32-year-old mother died of a heart attack. So, like, right after she died, he collected about $250,000 from two life insurance policies that they had taken out on her behalf. And so her mom was gangster like me, because I'd have been like, bump that. No. So she thought that was like really weird. So she called the insurance company and said, this is possibly insurance fraud. She called the insurance company, she called the cops, and so they started to do an investigation on the insurance fraud. And so with the investigation, you're going to be surprised at this. So let's go back into a little bit into their relationship. So these two people, Stacy and Josh, they had been married for about 8 years. And Stacy did have heart problems and she did have a pacemaker. So that's why it was easy for them to think that it was a heart attack. So
Right.
they were high school sweethearts, so they had been together far longer than 8 years. They were just married for 8 years. So who doesn't want to marry their high school sweetheart? And they had two children together. So it just like just like Lana and Steven, it just looks good on the outside. Stacy was a paralegal, and then she became a preschool teacher, and Josh was a paramedic, and so it seems like all of this has to deal with people in the medical field. Hmm.
Medical. Yeah. Keep it in the family.
Yeah, yeah, right. And this is all in the Charlotte area. So she was a paralegal, then she became a teacher. He's a paramedic, and yeah. she had heart problems. So I guess that's also what led to her like switching jobs or whatever. She has to keep herself stress free, which I don't know how as
That's
a
yeah.
preschool teacher you're stress free. That's pretty damn difficult to me.
Those
um,
little
yeah,
rugrats can really get to you.
yeah. So just
Yeah.
like Lana, Josh, the way Josh was acting and the moves he was making after Stacy died of an apparent heart attack was just like, it made people be like, what's going on here? So after she died, not long after she died, so like I said, he took out that money and he was dating a coworker. And the babysitter who would watch the children when when he's going to work or going out on dates, I guess not really spending time with his kids, she said
Not really.
she never ever saw him sad. He was really happy with this new girlfriend, and it was just all about her. You know, the babysitter was always with the kids. He went to work and he was with his new girlfriend, and he was just extremely happy. He had just lost his wife, and she's like, I never saw him shed a tear or even look sad. Um,
Whoa.
and remember when I said shortly after she died, he collected that money? Guess how long after she died?
48 hours.
You were
72 hours.
absolutely
A
right.
week.
Oh my God, 48 hours. No, you were right. 48 hours after she died, he went and collected $250,000. Now, let me
But
ask
see,
you this.
that's always a giveaway, though. Authorities look at that. That's always a give. You have to lay low for a minute, not like so soon because it looks so obvious.
Dude,
That there's so
now
much here
I
involved.
ask
Anyway,
you, if you
I
had a
get
high
it.
school sweetheart, if you had a high school sweetheart, y'all had been married 8 years, and you had two kids together, and he died within 48 hours, what are you thinking?
I mean, I'm
You
still
personally.
grieving.
Yeah,
I'm definitely still grieving for a while, maybe in a couple of months, maybe 3 months, 6 months. But the last thing I'm thinking of is get that money because that's the first thing they do. They look at these signs and they can tell when that was your motive. They can tell. It's just, I mean, you know what I don't get, Kai? And this is not even this is not this story was not back in the day. This story was not during the period a period story of say the 18th century or something. This was modern times in the 2010s or late or greater. So my thing is there's so many examples of forensic shows out there. How do people still make the dumbest decisions and mistakes? How do they do it? They see what
dude,
doesn't work, but they
dude,
just
I
still
couldn't.
don't think. I don't get it. Like we've seen. I mean, you can't help but see forensic shows, whether you're looking for them or not, and they're so popular. But like, it's to the point where how can you still be an idiot in today's time when everything's already been done before? So they show you what not to do. So how do you just collect the insurance money in less than 2 days later and not know from many shows before that's the stupidest thing you can do? You're
Dude.
going to prison.
Well, if you're greedy and you're basically
Greedy and
thinking
not
that,
grieving.
yeah, I was gonna say you're greedy and you're basically thinking that you got your problem out of the way. You're not thinking about any of that. You're just ecstatic, and I guess you just got away. You feel like you got away with murder, so I guess that's supposedly a high.
Yeah, that's
You're
pretty much,
riding on
yeah.
that high. So yeah. So
Yeah.
anyways, so yeah. So her body actually, so 48 hours after she died, he collected this money, and the mother called to do this investigation. So in part of their investigation, they're trying to see how really did Stacy die, because in her death certificate it shows natural death heart attack, which she has heart problems, she has a pacemaker. That's not far off to think that. um so they went to find out what's going on with her body. Let's see if we could do an autopsy or anything like that. However, Stacy's body had been cremated, and it was cremated because the husband requested that. They actually wanted to do an autopsy, but Joshua said he didn't want his wife cut up, so they didn't do an autopsy. However, unbeknownst to him, because she was an organ donor, A vial of her blood had been collected and stored away before they put her to be cremated. So the cops were able to get this blood and take it out for a toxology screening. And guess what they found in there, Shar? Mm-hmm.